Hello guys, and I always love to learn when we destroy another Russian arsenal. Because first of all, this means hundreds, if not thousands, of Ukrainian lives saved. And secondly, this goes along well with our strategy to defeat and demilitarize the Russian Federation. Unfortunately, there is no other way to achieve lasting peace in my part of the world. Ask Moldova, ask Georgia, ask Poland, ask the Baltic countries, and they will all confirm I'm not exaggerating. So I was really glad to learn that last night Ukrainian drones worked on the territory of the temporarily occupied Luhansk, which unfortunately was turned into Russian military base, and our drones neutralized big artillery arsenal there. Two loud explosions, detonation and fire that continued for hours, signaling that all of the Ukrainian territories will return back. And actually, I think this is a vivid illustration why it is so important to keep Russia away from your borders. Thus, aid Ukraine, help Ukraine to defeat this monster. Because every territory close to the border of any democracy, Russia uses as the platform for the future attacks. Let's discuss all of that from an ordinary Ukrainian perspective. My name is Anna, I'm from Ukraine, I'm in Ukraine, and if you want to see Russia defeated and Putin sent to hell, subscribe. I am sure we will discuss that soon on the channel. And let's start with this another important step on the demilitarization of Russia. Bad things happened for them in Luhansk, and bad things happened to Luhansk in 2014, when it was occupied by Russia. These were the first territories they invaded in Ukraine, and because of the weak reaction from our side, from the side of our allies, because of this very strong message, let's not escalate, we have decided to observe what happens next. And you all know that unpunished evil grows. Russia used it as a platform to develop their military bases closer to other regions of Ukraine, brought lots of ammunition, created arsenals there, and attacked Ukraine later. And this is a very vivid example why you don't want Russia moving in Ukraine closer to your borders, because all of that will be turned into the platform for further attacks on your territories, just as they did to us. And observing United Nations indecisiveness of other international organizations and alliances, I am not sure they will be ready to protect you as we are ready now. So what happened in Luhansk? Last night, serious detonation after the first explosion started because we have targeted their artillery arsenal. They use artillery shells on the front lines. Luhansk is very close to the front lines. So by neutralizing this arsenal, we actually back up our soldiers in the hottest zones of the front line. What is also good, there was a second explosion, maybe another drone successfully landed, but also it may be because of the detonation, because once again, this was an artillery warehouse. And I love to use past simple with this reality moment. So anyway, this is definitely a great victory and a possibility for Ukrainian soldiers to do the job, liberating more and more of the Ukrainian territories. And this is our need. This is a necessity not just for Ukraine, because Russia uses all of its occupied territories to move further, to prepare new attacks and to create chaos, problems, conflicts, violence in different corners of the world. Trust me, I'm Ukrainian, I know what I'm saying. Subscribe to know how to fight against Russia in these hybrid wars that it actually conducts in very, very different corners of the world, across the ocean, or I should say across the oceans too. Don't be too relaxed. Don't think that you are far away from the epicenter of evil. Unfortunately, with social media, technologies, they are able to achieve a lot, and we don't want that. If we look at Luhansk, that was occupied back in 2014, this is an illustration of what happens to the territories where Ruski Mir comes. It is devastation, it's scorched earth policy, people fleeing the territory, and it is extremely depressive with almost no inhabitants left. Because Russia not just mobilizes or conscripts people on the temporarily occupied territories to the Russian army. Russia tortures them. Russia steals their children, sends them to Russia and makes them join the troops, for example. And that is another reason why none of us in Ukraine, and I hope none of you in the world, want Russia to capture more of Ukrainian people to terrorize and use them against other countries. That is evil. And as one of people I follow on X, remember to join me there, the link is in the description of the video, beautifully described. Why not choose Ukraine as your best partner and your best ally in this very complex part of the world, unfortunately? Look at what Russia does in Georgia. Look at what Russia does in Moldova. It tries to stop all of our countries from moving in the democratic direction. It wants to restore the monstrous Soviet Union and continue threatening the world and then unite with China. And oh my God, then all the rest of the democratic world will be just a small part that does not decide anything on the globe. And I don't want such reality. Hope you don't want to. So this is vital for us to protect such countries like Georgia, like Moldova. Look what happened to Slovakia. It tears my heart. I saw their president, Fico, speaking with Skabeyeva. Skabeyeva is something like Goebbels of Putin. That's insane. A president of the EU country, just like Orban. Let me know, do I have any subscribers among the Slovaks, and what's your opinion on Fico's interview to Skabeyeva? And it's not just about the support of Russia by these governments. It's about moving towards the this, like, how do you call, orbit of the Kremlin. And I feel worried for the people in these countries, not just like for their support of us. I'm worried for their future. I know I have friends in Georgia, in Slovakia. They don't want back to the USSR. Nobody wants. Who have tasted freedom, who wants to work, who wants to pay taxes, who wants to build houses and not be afraid of Russian mafia coming and taking it all away from you. And this is why it is so important to defeat the evil. And the heart of that evil is in the Kremlin. But unfortunately, lots of Russians are guilty too. I do not support, I don't know how to choose a politically correct term, so I will simply say it short. I don't like Navalny. Let me know, have you watched her interview? Would you like a separate video on that and my opinion on the Russian opposition, if there is any? Because right now I see the opposition to Putin. I see the opposition to some political parties, but I don't see the opposition for war among the top Russian figures. So let me know, would you like a video on that? Check my community tab and do the vote, because we are starting a new very interesting project that we will film with Sasha, Russian Paradox, and I'm choosing the day on which we can actually show this episode. So let me know what you think. Join me on X, Instagram, Threads, and Discord. All the links that you need are in the description of this video. Thank you for buying me coffees, becoming my patrons and sponsors of the channel. Check our merch shop for lots of good items that work well as reminders and conversation starters about Ukraine. But most importantly, thank you for standing with us against this evil. Russia can and Russia will be defeated. Slava Ukraini!